You may be considering changing jobs in the new normal, and if you are, you're probably scared to death. There's a lot of anxiety about changing jobs, especially in the new normal. I mean, look at how many people don't have jobs. Look at how competitive it is. Shouldn't I just hunker down with the job I got and wait for things to get better? Look, there's lots of cons to changing jobs in the new normal, but there are some pros too, and it may be the right move for you. What up, fam? Dr. James W. Stallcup, a.k.a. Jimmy Joe Coltrane. I'm like the Meek Mill of getting you dollar bills. Falls upon us, I'm dressed like Al Borland. Let's get started. So why do we change jobs? Well, the reason we change jobs are the same today as they've always been. More money, don't like a coworker, don't like a supervisor, want better hours, want a shorter commute. That's about it. There's like 5 reasons that people change jobs. But now there's one more reason that you might change a job. Because you're scared of coronavirus, right? You work in a consumer-facing job and you have comorbid conditions that makes you at higher risk. I'll give you an example. There's a local school. They were concerned about whether or not they should go back to school. They decided to go back to school, and then one of the teachers died from COVID. So this has been happening all over the country, right? Teachers didn't sign up to be exposed to a life-threatening illness as a condition of their job. So traditionally risky jobs like police and firefighters, now you have communities where teachers are dying and being injured more than the higher risk professions. So I respect this. If somebody thinks that you're crazy for considering switching jobs to make yourself a little bit safer, they're probably not in your shoes, especially if you're an elder, you have a lot of comorbid conditions. I respect that. Nothing wrong with that. But when we talk about changing jobs, we get some anxiety, and that anxiety is kind of a fear of the unknown. I am having problems with this coworker here, but if I switch jobs, maybe I'll have another bad coworker. My boss doesn't really recognize my talents or support me, but if I switch jobs, what if I get an even worse boss than this? That fear of the unknown keeps a lot of people in jobs that they don't like. So what do? Well, if you put effort into job interviewing, if you train, suddenly you have a superpower and you can outcompete other people. So there may be a big incentive for you to change jobs. And the fact is, most jobs are good. The likelihood of you going to a job that is suddenly worse than your previous job is probably not as high as you think it is. So if you're looking for real world advice, I would say take stock of your current situation, figure out, do I want to continue my career path with this job forever and ever, or is it worth looking elsewhere? So this didn't used to be a thing. In the 1950s, people didn't change jobs all the time to try to improve. And Michael Moore actually covered this really good in, I think it was The Big One, where he talked about historically in America, a person could go work a factory job, own their own car outright, own their own home, and progress through that job until they retired, and then retire with a pension. Those days are over. That doesn't exist anymore. So the people who give you job advice and tell you to stay in the job and keep working up the ladder aren't familiar with how the world has changed. They didn't live in the same stage of a debt-based society that you live in. When societies were relying on debt to increase the monetary supply and they consistently debase their currency, it causes some problems in the labor force. And no, I don't expect you to become an economist, but let me tell you that employers are able to control costs by simply not advancing you. So yeah, this is a little bit deeper dive than some of the other videos out there, but if you like this content, click like real quick and click subscribe, and let's go on with this analogy. So trees don't grow to the sky. It doesn't happen. The stock market doesn't continue up forever. Things don't continually get more expensive. What happens is the currency is debased, okay? What I mean is monetary inflation. There's more and more dollars chasing the same amount of goods and services. Is a car worth more now than it was in 1980? No, the car is exactly the same. There's just been a lot of money printed since 1980, and so now there's more dollars chasing around a relatively fixed supply of cars. Some sectors may have deflation because of manufacturing and technology, things like computers, iPads, things like that. But everything else, including your services, experiences inflation. So let's say you employ a big group of doctors. Every year you're billing health insurances more and more and more. You're earning more money every year. The healthcare sector specific inflation is like averages 8% per year. So all you have to do to cut those doctors' pay is not give them a raise. So think about this for a second. If you're controlling your labor cost by not giving a raise, it's the same thing as giving a pay reduction because you're increasing your revenue. So this is why you have to change jobs. If you are not getting a raise, you are losing money. I know what you're thinking. So hold on, Coltrane. So you're telling me if I don't continually get advances in the money at my job, if I don't continually get some kind of perks or something to offset monetary inflation, I'm losing money every year. But why would that mean I have to change jobs? And the answer is because new hires have price discovery. For them to make a hire, they have to be competitive in the job market. So it's like resetting that wage when you change jobs. Now, you don't want to change jobs every year. That would be kind of silly in most industries. But every few years, you can get a significant jump by re-entering even the same position with a different employer. What you heard growing up is not the case. America doesn't work like that anymore. Nobody gets a pension. Nobody sequentially advances and stays in one job for 30 years and then retires and says, boy, I sure contributed a lot. It's dog eat dog. And if you are good at interviewing, you are going to eat the little dogs out there. And none of this is your fault. You're not the one pressing Control P and printing money. You're not responsible for any of this. You should not feel bad if you do need to change jobs. Let's say you have a schedule that is ruining your home life. It's affecting your marriage. You're working third shift and you feel like you can't have any friends because everybody's on the opposite side of a schedule, kind of like that movie Lady Hawk from the 80s. You're commuting so far that you're thinking, I hate driving and I'm losing hours out of my life every day. Change jobs. Get good at job interviewing. There are a whole lot of people in this country who absolutely hate their job, but they're scared to leave it. And there's a support group for this, and it's called a bar, and it meets 6 nights a week. And in any bar, you can go in there and see people who are just kind of miserable in their jobs. And the fact is, when they change jobs, a lot of times they're happier. So my first job that I had out of residency, I thought it was the greatest job on earth. Wonderful clinic, wonderful patients, wonderful people. And I kept having ideas and saying, I can do this better. Hey, I can do this better. Give me a chance. And they'd say, that's an idea. We may try that someday. And I stayed in the same job and I never advanced. And I'd still be sitting there today if I hadn't one day said, I'm going to go change jobs. And I changed jobs and they promoted me. And now I have the best job on earth. I love my employer. I wake up every day and get excited about going to work. It's wonderful. That's out there. And don't let people who are burnt out convince you it's not. Be real careful whose validation you seek and whose advice you take. And another point I'd like to make is you can measure loyalty. I can tell you loyalty. I can tell you a metric by which you can measure the loyalty you should have to your job, and that is the number they put on the paycheck. The shift, the hours, the perks, the retirement plan, that equals loyalty. So if you find somebody out there that'll give you more of that, then give them a little bit more loyalty. Just remember, it's in the employer's best interest to keep you where you are at. The system I work in, they really, really try hard to make sure that people advance and they let people work to the maximum of their ability, and I love that. And it's out there more than you think. Now, some employers right now can't get raises just because there's not money coming in because COVID has disrupted the entire economy, and there's entire sectors of the economy right now where sometimes you have to get out of it. Sometimes you buy a stock and that stock falls and you like the company and you like the idea, but you just have to get out of it. So let me talk about this real quick. So this video is kind of long, but I think it's important for you to know. This is the kind of stuff that can sort of help you make a decision and sort of guide you into decisions that can ultimately change your life. You have to be able to interview well to do any of this. So I'm biased, right? I've got an interview course. Right now the link is in the description, or you can go to my blog, www.stoicstalkup.com, and read job interview articles. This is something that you can go out and get a lot of knowledge off the internet for free. You need to take time and devote to doing this because you have to be able to outcompete your competition and you have to be able to outpace your competition. Imagine you have two people who start at the same point and then they're moving up their careers. If this person knows how to interview, they can actually systematically outpace the other employee. And the fact is that can make a huge difference in your life. At a very young age, I found myself with opportunities and advancements that no one of my peers had available to them because they worked in systems that did not recognize that. If I hadn't been able to interview and go seek out that opportunity, if I'd let my anxiety get the better of me and make me stay in the job that I had, then that would not have happened. And shout out to all the people that I used to work with. That first job I had, they're good people. Nothing wrong with them. They didn't do anything wrong. It's just they had a different vision of where they wanted their organization to go. So one more thing, and then I'll leave you with this. If you feel like in your heart, I could really accomplish something if I was just given a chance, I want to tell you this. Nobody is going to give you a chance. Chances are not given out. Chances are literally taken. You have to take a chance. You have to act in a manner that is going to put you in a position of opportunity. Nobody's going to do it for you. The passive approach to advancing, especially in the new normal, changing jobs in this new normal, this passive approach is never going to work. You have to go out there and work your hardest. Thanks for watching.